So, here we go. Chapter 7. Chapter 7 is exponents and exponential functions. Okay, we've been dealing with exponents a little bit. We know how to use them. We've used them like 3 squared and 3 to the 4th and so on. That's why I did these warm-ups here today. If you noticed, 3 of the 4 had exponents in them. What we haven't done, though, is how to deal with an exponent when it's with a variable. Okay, that's what we're going to be looking at in this chapter. So exponents and exponential functions. Now here's the first lesson. First lesson is 0 and negative exponents. I'm telling you, this is the easiest lesson all year. This is not me. This is not lying. This is not exaggerating. Probably. So, 0 and negative exponents. Here's the rule. If 0 is an exponent for every non-zero number a to the 0 power is equal to 1. So no matter what is raised to the 0 power, its answer is 1. All right? So 4 to the 0 power is what? 1. X to the 0 power is 1. 429,000 to the 0 power is 1. 8x. Ooh, hold on. This typo. It's a 0. 8x to the 0 power is what? 1. Anything and everything to the 0 power is 1. Let's think about it. Something to the first power is itself, right? So if I have 5 to the first power, 5 to the first power is 5. Now if I'm saying I want to take a number and multiply itself 0 times, I can't do it, can I? Doesn't even make sense. That's why it takes anything and everything back to 1. Does that make sense? Now, the only time it might get a little bit tricky is if you have something like this. Negative 5 to the 0 power. It's negative 1. Why is it negative 1? Well, the 0 only goes to the 5, correct? Same thing as the difference between this first one. 8x, everything inside the parentheses is raised to the 0 power. That's why it's 1. This one here, the 0 only goes with the 5. Because it only goes with the 5 is the 1, but we still have the negative sign out front. See, if you listen, I was going to answer it. All right? So, you ready? Here's an example. It's going to be really tough. Ready for this?
Back to bed. 1.
How about this? What do you got?
2. No, they don't like shit, but I think it's 2.
Okay, 2. Why is it 2?
Because
This guy's 1, right? How about this guy?
he's also 1.
1. Okay, so we have 1 plus 1, which is 2. So there you go. There's an answer that wasn't 1. I'm telling you, though, if you get one wrong on a test, it says something to the 0 power, and you put something other than 1, I'm going to be really upset. All right?
I will make sure I do.
Any questions on the 0 power?
No.
All right, so that's the first part.
Can we retake the test that we just took?
No. Okay, negative exponents. Here's a problem. All right? A negative exponent, first thing I want to put up here is you can never, I would write this down, leave can't spell. You can never have a final answer with a negative exponent.
Did it say never leave out
Okay, I'll take that one word out. I changed my wording halfway through. All right, there we go. You can never have a final answer with a negative exponent. All right, it's like an illegal thing. Just something we don't want in math. Okay, there's one exception to this, scientific notation. We'll get that in a couple chapters or a couple lessons. But for our purposes now, you can never have a final answer with a negative exponent in it. Okay? So for some reason you get 2x to the negative 2, we got to change it. We cannot leave it like that. So here's our rule for negative exponents. For every non-zero number a and integer n, a to the negative n power is equal to 1 over a to the n. So what does that mean? If you have a negative exponent, flip it. Okay? So if you have a negative exponent, you flip it. And it changes sign. All right, so down here, let's go 2 to the negative third. We know how to do 2 to the third power, don't we? What's 2 to the third power? 8. What's 2 to the negative third power? Well, it changes things as soon as you put that negative sign, doesn't it? Okay, so we can't have the negative exponent. So what we have to do, we have to get rid of the negative. To get rid of the negative, you flip it. So positive 2 to the negative third is going to be 1 over 2 to the third. All right? When you flip it, it makes that negative sign change. Remember back when we did inequalities?
Yeah.
All right, and if you divided or multiplied by a negative on both sides, you had to flip the sign.
Yeah.
Okay, it's kind of the same concept. If something is on top and then you take it to the bottom, whenever you cross that fraction bar, that changes the sign of the exponent. So now I have this in a case where I can work with.
You said it can be in your way.
Yeah.
So I have it now in a way that I can work with. So what is 2 to the third? We just said it. It was what? 8. So therefore this answer would be 1 over 8. You with me?
Yes. Because couldn't you so 2 to the negative third. 2 times negative 2.
That's not negative 2. It's negative third power. It's not negative 2. The other mistake I see is people try to say that's negative 6. First off, you don't know how to use exponents. And second, you don't know where the negative signs go. All right?
But do you always have to have a 1 above?
If there's nothing else there, yes. Okay? So what about this? What's that going to be?
1 over 36.
1 over 36, correct. Okay, that would be 1 over 36.
Did you just do it like a normal exponent and then put it over 1? Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much. What's going to happen is we're going to get more things added to it, though. Okay? All right, so you guys still good with this so far?
Yeah.
All right, so here's one. I'll step it up just a little bit.
How do you get that?
Flip it by this rule right here.
Just putting a 1 above the first one, taking away the negative.
Yeah, if you put a 1 over, it's taking away the negative. And you just have 1 over 6 to the power of 2, I think it's called. And then you just solve it from there. It's 1 over 36.
Power.
Yeah. I don't know how I can do.
Okay, here's where it's a little bit weird. And this is why it's not always necessarily a 1 over top. Okay, so here I have 3x to the negative 2. That exponent, is that with the x or with 3x? It's just with the x. Okay, it is just with the x. Unless it's in parentheses, it's only with Unless it's in parentheses, it's only with the thing that's directly to the left of it. All right, so this negative 2 only goes with the x. So this is the same as 3 times x to the negative 2. Right?
Just put a 1 over the x.
Now I've had to put the 1 over the x. So I have 3 times 1 over x squared. Now, do I leave it like that, though?
No.
Now go ahead and multiply them. So what am I going to end up with? What's 3 times 1?
3.
3, because this will be over 1. So that in that case, all I did was take my x squared to the bottom. That's how I'm going to say it, probably going forward.
You know what this whole variable is exponents?
Well, you don't know what the variable is. Then there's no equal sign. So there's nothing you can do with it. All right? What we're doing right now is just called simplifying. Okay? Guys all right with that one?
Yep.
Okay? Okay. Simplify that guy.
Don't say out loud.
David, what'd you get?
-5 over x to the third power.
Negative 5 over x to the third power. Who agrees? I agree. Okay. That negative sign out front of the 5 really did nothing, did it? Because it made it here and here. Okay, then it's multiplied across the top. Do I need those intermediate steps? No, I don't need those intermediate steps. But make sure you know where it's coming from. All right, so for me, if I look at 3x to the negative 2, I can see it's 3 over x squared. Okay, if you can get it right to that point, go for it. If you got to break it down and simplify it, do it that way. I'm good either way. All right? Still good? Okay. Now, I'm going to give you a couple problems here I want you to try. So it's going to be a couple things kind of linking the two things together here, okay? So first one, I have 3, 0, plus 4 to the negative 3. That's number 1.
That plus.
That's a plus. Okay, second one. All right, there's your 4 problems. So let's go over these. Who wants to walk me through the first one? All right, go ahead. What's 3 to the 0 power?
Uno.
1.
And we're
What's 4 to the negative third?
1/64.
1 over 64.
Yeah.
Okay, so then if I was going to add those together, what would I have to find?
What?
If I want to add those together, what do I have to find? Common denominator, right? Officially, I have to find a common denominator, so I'd have 64 over 64 plus 1 over 64 and get 65 over 64. Or that's going to come out to be what?
1 and 1/64.
1 and 1/64. There we go.
Dude, what? What did you say?
They're just trying to make it more complicated.
If I have to find a common denominator to add them together, I'd have to make 1 64 over 64. Add them together, get 65 over 64.
You made that more complicated.
All right, second one. Diamond, walk me through it. What's 3x to the 0 power? 1 minus, what's 2 to the 0 power? 1. So 1 minus 1 is 0. There we go. Dick, you got 3. What's 4x to the negative 2? You don't know. What do you need to do to the 4x to the negative 2? What do you need to move? Just did one like this on the previous page. Where's the negative exponent going to?
He's trying to find his own one. Didn't work.
Dively.
Number 3,
Yeah, what's 4x to the negative 2? What's that change into?
4 over x to 2 power.
Yep. And then minus, what's 2y to the negative third going to be?
2 over 1 to the 3rd power.
Good. Can I change anything? Can I add anything there? No, they're not like terms, right? So there's no way I can get a common, well, a couple years down the road, we'll talk about how to combine those. But for now, no, we cannot combine those. All right? And number 4, SB. X to 0 power is what? 1 plus 2x to the negative third. What's that going to simplify to? Look at the previous one. What's on top?
1.
Try again.
Wait. Oh, 2.
2. What's on the bottom?
X to the negative 3rd power.
X to the positive third. When you cross it over the fraction bar, it changes the sign. Questions? Be careful with that, guys. Be careful.
That was the whole lesson.
That was all lesson 1. Any questions on lesson 1?
Is this lesson hard?
No.
So does this the equal lesson?
Lesson 2.
Chapter.
Multiplying powers with the same base. Okay? So now, what happens if we have things that we want to combine together and they have exponents with them? Okay? We haven't really done that before. We have multiplied where we had 2 times 3x and we got 6x, right? What happens if we have x squared plus or times x to the third? Okay, that brings us a new thing. So let's think about this. We're multiplying exponents. I'm just going to go ahead and write this up here. I want to say 3 squared times 3 to the 4th. Okay, so right now I have the same base on both of those. I have 2 different exponents though, right? What does 3 squared mean to us? If you were going to explain it to someone, how would you explain it? Yeah.
So 1 inch by 1 inch is 3 squared.
Easier yet.
Every number is multiplied by 3. So like
Like
3
this.
1 times is like 3. 3 2 is 9. So you keep
Okay,
multiplying
so you're
by
multiplying, right?
Yeah.
Multiplying 3 by itself that many times. Okay, so 3 squared would be 3 times 3. Agreed? 3 to the 4th would be what then? 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Right? Now, if I look at this, it's all multiplication the whole way across, isn't it? So really, this is just 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. How many 3's do I have there? 6. I got 6 3's, don't I? So wouldn't that be the same as 3 to the 6th?
No.
By definition, we did it. Okay?
If you're talking those 6's on the top problem
Wouldn't it be
and
3
those
to
6's
5?
on the bottom problem, that would work.
Wouldn't it be 3 to
There's
5?
only 6 in one spot.
What?
So, this one here, 3 to the 2nd is 2 3's, right? 3 to the 4th is 4 3's. What is 2 times 4?
8. 12. Wouldn't it be
Sorry, 2 plus 4.
6?
6. How many 3's do I have here?
3.
6. 3 times itself, 6 times is just 3 to the 6th, right?
There are actually 8 3's in the first problem.
Questions on this?
Did you put our credit on our test?
You see how I got this? Questions on this?
Oh, wouldn't it be like 3 to 5?
Could you just take the 2 and the 4, smash it together, 6?
There's
Huh. There we go. That leads us to our rule. I was hoping someone would say that. So here's our rule. Power rule for exponents. Notice, you have to have the same base. If you have the same base, you have something raised to a power times something raised to the power. Bases are the same. All you do is add the exponents. Add them together. Okay? Bases must be the same. So 3 squared and 4 squared, I cannot combine because the base is not the same. Okay? So here, if I want to write this as a single exponent, 5 squared times 5 to the 6 is going to be what?
5 to the 8.
5 to the 8th. There we go.
What if it was adding?
The rule doesn't work. It's for multiplication. X squared times x to the 3rd is what? X to the 5th. Notice the pattern so far? How about let's go t to the 5th times t to the negative 3rd. G squared. Good. How about z to the 4th times z to the negative 6th?
We're doing that thing we learned in.
Well, what do I got first? You don't have to give me the final answer right away. Be z to the negative 2, which we can't leave like that. We have to make it a what?
Z 1 over Z2 squared.
Good. 1 over z squared. We all right so far? Okay. Now. Oh, I don't want that. I need to add a new slide.
Is that all this lesson is?
Well, we're going to expand on it, but pretty much, yeah. That's all the new stuff for the lesson. Okay? Now, let's recap a second. If I had this, 2x times 3, what would that answer be?
2x times 3.
6x. Okay? Because I take 2 times 3. Those are my coefficients. Multiply the whole numbers. It doesn't matter. All right? Multiplication, you do not need like terms. All right? So here I have 2 times 3. I multiply the whole numbers, and this x just tags along. Agreed? So let's add in a little piece to it. What if I have this? 5x squared times 3x to the 3rd. So in this case, nothing really changes. The only thing that's different is my exponents. Okay? So let me rewrite this once. Kind of treat this and this as like terms and this as like terms in a way. All right? So I'm going to have 5 times 3 times x squared times x to the 3rd. So everything's multiplication, right? Multiplication, I can rewrite it however I want. So I have really there 5 times x squared times 3 times x to the 3rd. things are written side by side. It's multiplication, right? Multiplication, order does not matter, so I just shifted it around to this format. So what's 5 times 3? 15. What's x squared times x to the third?
X to
Why?
Fifth. Bingo.
Wouldn't it just be
Add the exponents together.
Okay, how would you solve that?
what did you do?
How did you get rid of the x?
Huh?
How did you get rid of an x?
I meant 675x.
No.
Why
There's
not?
no exponent with the whole numbers.
Oh yeah. I forgot about
Okay? The exponent is with the x, not with the
Why-
whole numbers. So I multiplied the whole numbers together, applied the product rule to the exponents with the variables.
that. I don't think I'll be too good.
All right? What?
Is that the answer, 15x?
15x to the fifth would be your answer,
Or
yes.
do we have to solve it?
You can't solve. There's no equal sign.
But can
There's no equal sign.
15, you're just good for it. It only goes one close before it, unless it's in parentheses.
What's this?
is that a 4?
Solve that one. Simplify that one.
Yes, in parentheses.
All right, what's 3 times 4?
12.
12. A squared times a to the third. Bingo.
I put X.
Still not too bad, is it?
No.
No. All right. What about if I have something that is a negative exponent here? Let's go with this. We get negative 2 x to the fourth times 3 x to the negative sixth.
Oh.
Okay, what's negative 2 times 3? Negative 6. What's x to the fourth and x to the negative 6 going to be? X to the negative 2. Do I got a problem here?
Yeah,
Yeah, what's my problem?
it's a negative.
Negative exponent. Negative exponent, I have to take it to the bottom, correct? Take it to the bottom, so I have negative 6 over x squared. Questions? Still feeling all right? All right, I'm going to put a few problems up here. I want you guys to try them. Write 4 up here.
Feel good.
But do you have to multiply the numbers up top?
Multiply the whole numbers. Add the exponents. All right, there you go. There's 4 of them. So, look at these last ones. Okay, let's go over them. So, first one, Diamond, walk me through it. Yep. So, I get 4 to the 8th. Good. Number 2, Dick.
This kid's lost.
Isn't that the one I just opened?
Number 2, what we got?
Negative 15 over x5.
15 over x to the 5th. Good. All right, you would multiply these two, you get negative 15x to the negative 5th, correct? So then you have to take the x to the bottom and get rid of the negative exponent. Good. 3, SB.
Come on, John. It's the easiest one.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
All you have to do is add the exponents. It's all the same base, right? What's 4 plus 5?
6.
What's 4 plus 5?
9.
Minus 3.
6.
There we go. Camden, last one. What do I have to do here?
Do the one in parentheses first. Do 4 times negative 3.
Well, that's not multiplication, is it?
Oh.
I have to do what? Give you a hint. Look at the board. What do I have to do? Distribute. Yeah, we have to distribute. So what's 2x times 4x squared?
8x squared.
It's not your problem. What's 2x times 4x squared? 2 times 4 is 8. X.
Square would be 30.
Well, here. So hold on one second.
64x.
Whoa. We got to add our exponents, right? X. This would be x to the first, right? So what's 1 plus 2? 3. Okay, next one. What's 2 times negative 3? Negative 6. X to the first and x to the first. So 1 plus 1 is?
2.
2. Questions on those 4? What?
Number 3, 1 and 2, 3 over 8 squared.
No.
No.
Because the
There's no numbers out front.
what?
There's no numbers out front.
Yeah.
You made a number out front somehow.
You put an A times A.
No.
Right?
No.
You just give them.
That would be plus.
And then wouldn't it still be 1 over A 6?
No, it's a positive 6, so we don't have to take it at the bottom.
Yeah, what about the other ones?
'Cause it
4,
was up
you
in
just
number.
add. 4 plus 5 minus 3. It's 9 minus 3 is 6. That's all you got. 8 is 6. All right, the last thing you might have to do is just plug some numbers in. We'll just do one of those real quick, and then we'll call it a day.
No homework?
Yes, there's obviously going to be homework. There'll be 2 assignments. 2 lessons, 2 assignments.
Wednesday.
You have a quiz on Wednesday for Friday, yep. All right, you might have something like this. 2x squared plus 3y to the third. X is 1. Y is 2. Okay? So it's just like anything else we've done. Just plug it in. 2 times 1 squared plus 3 times 2 cubed. All right, 1 squared is 1, right? So I have 2 times 1. What's 2 to the third?
8.
8. What's 2 times 1?
2.
3 times 8.
24.
2 and 24 is 26. Okay, so you might have a couple you just plug a number in. That's all you got to do. All right. If you get something like this, then say I have 4x to the negative third, and I want to evaluate, so I still have x is 1. I have to make this positive first, so I make it 4 over x to the third. Okay, and then I just plug the number in. 1 to the third. What's 1 to the third power?
3.
What's 1 to the third power? 1. So I have 4 over 1 or 4. There we go. Questions? Okay, homework will be on Canvas.